Biden and his people and his probably auto pen. It looked like we had an auto pen for a president, and we would have been better off if we had probably. But it looks to me like, that's a big subject. I'm sure you won't ask about that, but the whole subject of auto pen, did he know what he was doing? Did he authorize it? Or is this somebody in an office, maybe a radical left lunatic, just signing whatever that person wants?
Oh God, what is Grandpa on about now? So you know that he's been on 4chan. He's been reading the replies on Truth Social when he starts saying, you should be asking the subject of auto pen, very important. And it's obviously stupid. And I know what he's talking about, and we'll get to it. And it is stupid. But the thing about it is that he's in charge now. So this dumbass thing that the dumbest people in America have come up with to justify truly radical, unconstitutional things is now a thing that we need to worry about for the next couple of weeks, because they came up with auto pen, and so now that's gonna be our life. So what does it matter? What's with the auto pen? Well, don't worry, there was a journalist on hand to tee him up with exactly the thing he wanted to talk about.
Mr. President, so to follow up on the Biden auto pen, are those executive orders, those pardons from the former president now null and void?
Well, I think so. It's not my decision. That'll be up to a court. But I would say that they're null and void, because I'm sure Biden didn't have any idea that it was taking place. And somebody was using an auto pen to sign off and to give pardons to, as an example, it's just one example, but the J6 Unselect Committee. They gave, think of it, they gave pardons with an auto pen. I don't think Biden knew anything about it.
Okay, so here we get to the substance of it, or at least the conspiratorial meat at the center of this thing. I get to go after Liz Cheney. I get to go after the Bidens. I get to go after Pencil Neck Schiff because of auto pen. I can go after them. So for the first time in American history, we're gonna get to the substance. There's a lot of nonsense around this and conspiracy and willful lying. The substance is the pardons that the president did in the past, they don't count anymore. Current president, get to cancel the pardons that a prior president has done. Never in hundreds of years, never happened. Literally never happened. You don't get to do that. You have no power whatsoever. There's nothing in Constitution, there's nothing in SCOTUS precedent that would allow you to cancel pardons, just to be very clear. So let's run through though, what does he think he's saying? So he's saying, I think Biden didn't sign these things. I think they used a thing called an auto pen, which is a thing that can duplicate signatures. Did he use an auto pen? We have no evidence of that. There's literally no evidence. He's just saying he thinks that he used an auto pen. He also said that he doesn't know what's going on. What is that based on? Literally nothing. Again, okay, so let's say that he was right about this thing that he made up, that Biden used an auto pen instead of manually signing all these pardons, which Trump obviously did. When he pardoned like 1,000+ violent insurrectionists, he definitely sat down and signed every one. He wouldn't be being hypocritical about this or anything, but let's say that he's right. Let's say that Biden didn't sign those and that it was auto pen that did it. Would that mean that it's not legally valid? No. Why? Because courts have already ruled on this in terms of legislation under Obama, that it's still valid. The president still signed it. Again, does he know that? Yeah, probably, but it doesn't matter. It's a conspiracy. And does that mean that he gets to just declare that he can now investigate these people? No, obviously not, for like 10 different reasons, but that's what he's doing because it's about the vengeance, both because he is that small inside and wants to go after people like Liz Cheney until his dying breath, which might only be a few years off. He will spend every moment pursuing vengeance, but also because it delivers to his base a nice distraction. Don't worry about the trillions of dollars that we're gonna be handing to Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. No, I'm gonna get those damn traitors for you. And so there he was sort of like pontificating, he was implying that it could be true. On Truth Social, he's just saying, yeah, no, it's null and void. Void, vacant, no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by auto. Again, he has no evidence they were done by auto pen. And it wouldn't matter if they did. All of this is fiction, all of this is fantasy, all of this is made up. He's now declaring on social media that it's true, and so the pardons have been reversed, which is nonsense. But if it isn't nonsense, JR, it is nice to know that the next Democratic president, I guess, can just say auto pen and then reverse all of Trump's pardons. Finally get some justice for the insurrection, I suppose, because that's how the system works now. The president is a king and he can do whatever he wants. What do you think?
Well, if they try, I mean, the problem is, again, the folks who voted for this unknown Democratic president at some point in the future would revolt. Be like, what are you doing? I thought you're supposed to be doing something. When you have a group of people who don't care what you do, as a matter of fact, destroy things and say everything is great, they like it even more. They'll celebrate the Gulf of America. So, okay, so obviously these are more distractions from what it is that's actually going on, because he then always said, I was elected because of the economy. I was elected on this thing called groceries. Who would have thought groceries? There's a word, it's called groceries. He said this.
He said it.
So since that's what he was elected on, he keeps telling you that, but his actions keep telling you that he was elected based off of his hatred and his revenge tour. So this is what he thinks is gonna be the red meat he needs to feed to his constituents, his voters, his supporters, to go, oh, I totally forgot how groceries, that word he made up, aren't actually increasing. I forgot that the cost of everything continues to increase. I forgot that my 401k is suffering under these horrible policies. So maybe a reporter should ask him a few questions. Okay, sure, Mr. President, auto pen. So how often do you dream about Joe Biden at night? Do you dream about him when you go on your golfing tours on weekdays? Do you daydream about him in your backswing before you hit it? Because you guys had that stupid ass fight in your debate over who can drive the ball further. How often do you think about Joe Biden? Do you think about his face? Do you think about caressing and stroking the side of his face? Maybe you think about him sleeping all the time, since that was always the line that was going. So how are those grocery prices really going? Yo, how about Ukraine? Did they still start the war? Because they moved beyond all of the ridiculous things that he does and says to the next BS thing, and no one ever brings it back up again. So did Ukraine really start that war? How is Vladimir Putin doing in these talks? Are you guys dividing up the country in the ways that you want? What does this have to do with the safety and security of Ukraine? What about the rest of Europe that he said he wants to go after? Answer these questions, since we're talking about the damn auto pen. That's why he's talking about the auto pen, because he doesn't want you to talk about whether he's sending sons and daughters into Panama and Greenland, like he just said. One way or another, we're gonna go after them. He says these outrageous fascist things, and we're not allowed to talk about it because it'd be too mean to call a fascist who's arresting people. I know you're gonna get to this too, arresting people and sending them off in deportations with no kinds of due process or trials because he just said that's who they are. Start asking the questions when it comes with the BS.
Yeah, this is one of the difficult ones where it is definitely designed to distract, but it's also him asserting an entirely unconstitutional, radical, like no one, literally none of the most corrupt presidents in our history have ever tried to reverse pardons. And he is saying that he now gets to do this because of auto pen. And he couches it in the, he doesn't even know what's happening. Look, I'm gonna end on this. We've all seen him those days in the beginning where he was signing all these executive orders, and he's sitting there and some guy comes up and hands him a thing. Is like, hey, it's a thing to do this. It's designed to do that. And Trump goes, oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, he knew all about what was going on. He drafted that executive order. It was all his idea and everything. The people who actually are they're the ones talking to the billionaires and the corporations and then just writing down whatever they want. Trump is an auto pen at this point. That's all he's good for. Anyway, we're gonna move on to other news.
Donald Trump said one of his executive orders after that guy who details what's in it. He goes, oh, what's in this? He not lying. He said it straight up.
He has no idea.
Well, I don't know what was in it. I'm gonna have to go and look back at it.
Yeah. Was it an auto pen that redrew the path of the hurricane? You're auto Sharpie. That's all you are. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?